Greetings everyone, Zannrath here, welcome back to Everlasting Summer. Last time we got started on making what sounds like it's going to be a horrible cake. But, let's go ahead and keep going with it. So once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer, like I was back in high school. It's a good thing it's safe now. Even if somebody finds out, I'll claim that it's not mine. I could always think up of a suitable excuse from my enormous experience. I guess we're pretty well versed in sneaking alcohol. Wait, how old are we again? Like, isn't the legal drinking age in Russia like younger than it is in the U.S.? I mean, in U.S. it's 21, and he said back in high school. He's in college, right, or something? So. Maybe he's like 20 or something. I don't know. Let's head up to the library before we go to the clubhouse. I want to save that for last because we're probably going to run into Shurik and some interesting things are going to happen there. If every other place on the cake list ingredient made at least some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. Maybe they use it to like keep the books crisp. I don't know. I thought hard about who would put it in the library and why, but I couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Zenya's harsh nature, I'd better knock first. Open. That's funny. I don't know why, but yeah. Zenya peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? Probably should have been a harsher tone. Don't think anything weird, but I didn't want to look like an idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga Dmitrovna said that it's here. I understand that sounds strange to keep flour in the library, and she's going to be like, oh no, it's not strange at all. You always use flour in the library. I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake to celebrate Shurik's rescue. Yes, I have flour. What's so strange about it? Yeah, exactly, right? Zenya replied with surprise. At that second, I felt like I'd been hit on the head with a heavy weight and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library. Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland. I'm Alice. Now I'm gonna eat that magic mushroom and I'll be back home. Is that what happened? I thought she fell down a rabbit hole. Or wait, was he talking about how she got out? I don't know. Hey! Yeah? I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started waiting. A moment later, the sound of a trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Uh-oh, does she have a secret bomb shelter here too? Hey, do you need some help? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it. Zenya barked out to me. She seems to be in the basement, so I'll have to wait. It doesn't sound like that's a Zenya line. Oh, silly translators. Okie dokie. I've never seen no case spell like that. A few minutes passed, but Zenya still hadn't returned. I was starting to get worried when the door was suddenly flung open. Alyssa came into the library. Uh-oh. She looked surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? Oh wait, she's still mad at me for like looking at her naked or peeping at her and Olyana, right? We ran into Olyana, but we haven't run into her yet. Am I not allowed to be in here or to be here? I said rudely to her. Alyssa was clearly a bit overwhelmed. What do I care? She snorted and headed to Zenya's table. And why are you here then? Alyssa measured me with her eyes carefully and almost opened the mouth to say something, but then seemed to change her mind and turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Uh-oh. Are you gonna make a bomb out of the flour or something? You're gonna try to steal... Did you come here to steal the flour and make a bomb out of that too? Returning a book? Uh-oh. She's returning some, book that she doesn't want me to know about. Oh, but it's naughty. I blurred the first thing off the top of my head. It's none of your business. I don't think I've seen this face before. Then again, I don't really look at the people, I just look at the text. She replied, which is actually quite a shame because, it's really well done, I think. Backgrounds and all this stuff, and the characters. She replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Alyssa was silent. Oh, come on, let me see it. I was wondering what Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business. Her voice was even less confident. Okay, I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Alyssa was reading. Moreover, I was quite amused to see a book in her hands. TV, movies, or a computer. If one were available here, all these things seem to be much more appropriate entertainment for a girl like her. But she had a book instead. Doesn't she have, like, her guitar, too? Oh. Screw it, we're snagging it. Well, we're probably not, but I just feel like I want to go down this path. My curiosity won. I struck at the right moment when Alyssa was looking away from me and snatched the book. Oh, we actually got it. Oh man, I definitely haven't seen this face before. Ouch! She screamed. In the following second, her face took on such an expression that it made me question my decision. I mean, I kind of expected this to happen, so sorry, Semyon. I'm just being that guy. If I'm about to die, at least I will know what for. I held a copy of Gone with the Wind. Okay. I've actually never read Gone with the Wind. But, you know, was it a Pulitzer winner? I don't know, it probably won some award. In my hands, that was the same book that Lena was reading that evening on the bench, on a bench. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now. I was so astonished that I completely forgot about my imminent death. Wait, who is Xenia? Or not Xenia, wait, Xenia and Lena are roommates, right? And Alyssa and Ilyana are roommates. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say maybe if she and Lena were roommates, maybe it might make sense. Anyways, yeah, imminent death. Is it interesting? Yeah. Alyssa answered without enthusiasm, blushing. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, okay then. I handed the book back to her. Alyssa threw it on the table and left the library quickly without looking at me. I feel like I made her like me more than... I feel like we came out on top of that, in that exchange there. I feel like we raised some flags, maybe. So human things aren't alien to her. In the end, she too is a girl. Is that a very girly thing to do? Read Gone with the Wind? Okay. After a quick review of everything that just happened, I concluded that there was actually nothing that strange. Finally, Xenia's deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Grab it! I passed the bookshelves and beheld... Okay, sorry. I passed by the bookshelves and beheld the perspiring librarian sitting near the trapdoor leading into the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of stairhouse down there. Or storehouse. Stairhouse. Thanks. I took the sack and left the library. Thank goodness it wasn't too heavy, so I carried it to Olga Dmitryevna's cabin without too much effort. Alright. Guess we're not going back there. Wait. Oh, okay. These are the people. Where's Alyssa and... Why is their cabin all the way down here? Well, that's interesting. Alright. Clubhouse. Feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be to look for sugar there. Okay. They're building a female... they're building a cat girl robot. That's nice, bros. Alright. Shurik and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. I don't know. I'm sorry, this is just kind of funny to me. They're building a cat girl. Of course, why not? They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of robot. Or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such device for luminaries of Camp Cybernetics. Oh god. I think we think it's a sex robot. Alright. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth. Well, I'm sure if you have an army of cat girl robots, you could probably conquer the Earth. Or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seem to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. Well, yeah, I'm sure they will. And that was something we shared even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who could call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I think that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in a right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit, like a builder or something, cried out with all of its 5-pixel stature, "Gold! We need more gold!" I don't know what game that could be. Got it, said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I thought that I shouldn't explain to Shirk that they want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga Dmitrovna told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last, it was the last thing to unload. And given that our building is closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. Does that make sense? It was the last thing to unload, so they were like, oh, we forgot to unload the sugar. And we're already almost out of the camp, so might as well just drop it off in this building. It must be like a huge sack of sugar. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. Oh, I guess it was a huge bag. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where would we put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. It seems that the previous smile of his wasn't there without a reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed at Shirk. He owed me, after all. He hesitated, and then looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag, and headed for the door. Thanks anyway. I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternatively in my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in minor sprints with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by night at least, I heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you? Oh, thanks, Lena, but I couldn't. I saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. Okay. I can bring a handcart. That's why I like you, Lena. So smart. A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yes, that'd be great. Wait here, I'll be right back. We just wanted to impress Lena by, just carrying 20 kilos of stuff by herself. That's why. She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What would I do without her? Yeah, exactly. It's good that Lena isn't always that shy and I can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think. She seemed quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face, and actually the complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena? A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back. So I'll go then. Yes, see you. And thank you again, I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there are two people living inside of Lena. But the second one, confident, happy, and sometimes even bold, only appeared when she talks to me. I think the emphasis I put there was my own. Or am I making things up again? I thought that'd be great if I get all the ingredients at once, so I headed to Olga Dmitryevna's cabin with the handcart. I don't understand why we're like so freaked out about the beer, because we have to like bring it to them anyway, right? So they're like, oh, what do you have alcohol? Well, I guess, yeah, okay, maybe someone just randomly catches us with it. They'll be like, they're not gonna believe that it's for the cake. So, all right, understand. I get you, Semyon. Finally, it seems that everything had been collected, and luckily we have this handcart now. I took the handcart with sugar outside and put the sack with the flour in it, followed by the 2 baskets of strawberries that somehow fitted in between, and the beer was hidden under my shirt, just in case. The day was coming to its end, so I had to hurry, as cake itself would need some time to bake. Of course, I'd rather enjoy lying down, closing my eyes, and getting a decent sleep, but I just couldn't let Olga Dmitryevna down. Indeed, after all the trouble I had gone to, I felt personally responsible for the success of this event, comrade. Coming to the square, I stopped for a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't that the cart was heavy. It ran smoothly without any noticeable effort required. It was just that any physical exertion caused pain to me now. Both a physical and mental one. Physical effort causes physical and mental anguish to him. That's too bad. Oh, I passed out. I sat down on the bench and closed my eyes for a moment. What's that? I didn't really give a damn who it was. Probably just a fellow pioneer girl taking an interest in an unfamiliar companion in distress. What are you talking about? Is it Lena? I asked her tiredly. She didn't reply. Those are the ingredients for a cake. Do you like cakes? I don't know. Why don't you open your eyes when you talk to the person? What, you never tried cake? I don't know. Obviously the girl didn't get what I was talking about, but it didn't surprise me at the moment. I really wasn't interested in the conversation. I was so tired that I had zero intention of classifying external distractions and tagging them as either common or uncommon. I see. Come down to the canteen later and have a bite. Really? Really. And what are they made of? What? I asked indifferently. These cakes. Okay, that's sounding a little suspicious. Are we like talking to like well, I was gonna say, are we talking to like a ghost of that person from the old camp? But that person probably wouldn't know what cakes are. Well, some flour, some sugar, various fillings. Now that's a strange question. Doesn't she know what cakes are made of? And you have it all here? Yeah, sort of. And sugar? And sugar. Could you lend me a little? What for? Why don't you open your eyes? Or is this censored? I don't even understand what's going on. I thought it was over the top. And I opened my eyes and nothing's there. Suddenly, a gust of wind made me grab the cart instinctively and open my eyes. However, nobody was there. Alright, so either we're going crazy, or there's some sort of like spirit ghosty thing, or whatever. Because I feel like that is not a person that we're talking to. Am I daydreaming? I noticed, though, that the sugar sack was untied and a small heap of it had poured over. Oh, ghost confirmed. Well, not really. Could it be that she was scared by the wind and ran away? Having fixed the sack, I got up from the bench and continued on my challenging strawberry way. There wasn't a single person near the canteen. No wonder, dinner was still an hour away. I brought the handcart to the rear exit and handed the foodstuffs to the camp cook. She must have already been told what to do with them, as she gave me such an unpleasant look. I'm not sure how long it takes to bake a cake, but it seemed like she had to hurry. But yeah, that takes a long time, doesn't it? I just wanted to relax for the remaining time up until dinner. In short, I was so tired that I just sat on the steps and waited. And passed out again, and we're going to talk to our imaginary friend now. My eyes closed themselves. Oh wait, hold on. In the beginning of the game, weren't we like daydreaming about like some girl that we couldn't figure out who it was, and then like we're like following her into something or whatever? I thought it was Slavia, but now it kind of seems more like we have some sort of imaginary friend that we see when we like are exhausted and are about to pass out. Let me adjust my headset real quick. Alright. My eyes closed themselves. I guess I got so tired throughout the day that I didn't even notice how someone came up to me until they patted me on the shoulder. Hi. Miku was standing before me. Yeah. I didn't need a mirror to imagine an expression of skepticism and annoyance on my face. Oh, excuse me, I must have interrupted you. No problem, I was just sitting here. Ah, alright then. Miku beamed with a smile. I was just coming to dinner. I thought that it's time already, and then it appeared to me that's too early, but I decided to check in case. Maybe it's not me who's mistaken, but the clock is. Wow, her run-on sentences are really hard to read for me for some reason. Well, not the clock. Clocks can't be mistaken. It's just that I misread it. It seems to be ultimately confused now, or she seemed to be ultimately confused now. It fell on her ramblings are confusing me. It's still about half an hour before dinner. Do we sleep for half an hour or something? Because then he say it was already an hour before when he got there. Oh, that's great. Then I'll sit here and wait with you if you don't mind. Frankly speaking, I do mind. I don't really mind. You know, I have some matters to attend to. Oh, we bailed on her. I stood up quickly and left without saying goodbye, ignoring Miku, as I always did, while she screamed something after me. Comrade. After a minute, I got to the square and sat on the bench with the firm intention of finding quiet in a place, and safe place here to wait for dinner. I think this is the first time in the last 24, in the last 4.5 days, when I felt like this. I wasn't just irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed I was really angry. I've completely stopped caring about where I am and why I'm here. I don't care about how to get out either. What's driving me mad is that I always have to carry out some stupid task given by our camp leader, and it's always me who gets into stupid situations, and sometimes even ends up looking like a clown. If all of this is some alien trick or a plot of the universal mind, they better consult with their psychiatrist. I gritted my teeth and clenched my fists. And most annoying thing is that everything that happens seems to happen by itself somehow. I'd be happier not having to carry around bags of sugar that weigh a ton, though I had no choice at all. I mean, any other option would lead to much worse consequences than a muscle strain or hurt pride. Who are you angry with? Ulyana was standing in front of me, smiling slyly. Everyone likes to smile slyly. Nobody, really. I answered absently, but my fists gave me away, just like that. What? Okay, it's up to you. You better tell me, why did you run around the camp the whole day with some kind of bags? I had to, I replied reluctantly. I guess it was food. It's candy, actually, right? Sugar? Essentially. Maybe it was. Ulyana was about to say something, but at that moment, the bell rang, calling the pioneers for dinner. I sighed in relief and quickly headed to the canteen, leaving Ulyana behind. I feel like we're really moody right now. Semyon, thank you very much. For what? The camp leader gave me a friendly smile. For the cake, of course. Ah, sure. It was at that exact moment that I understood the true meaning of the saying, keep your thanks to feed your cat. Never heard that saying before, but okay. You didn't tell anybody. This ought to be a surprise. Yeah. That's my boy. And now, off you go to dinner. Olga Dmitrievna waved her hands, pointing at the canteen. I stepped to the doorway slowly and started to look for a free place. It turned out that there were plenty today, so I got a chance to eat all alone. There was fish with mashed potatoes for dinner. What misfortune once again, I'll be left half hungry, because we don't like fishes, right? And didn't we have fish for lunch? Is it fish only today? Is it a Friday? During Lent? Maybe? Oh, we're passing out in the canteen too. Having pushed my plate with the fried sea dweller away, I laid my head on my hands and closed my eyes. But soon somebody came up to the table. Hey, are you alright? I'm fine. I replied without changing my position. Just tired? Yeah, a little. That's bad. Slavia said it seriously. Of course. You remember that we were going for a hike after dinner, don't you? Have you prepared everything? Oh my... You have to go hiking after dinner? What? Where? I opened my eyes and lifted my head up instantly. Lena was sitting next to Slavia. The hike. She was surprised. Didn't you know? No. I put my head down on the table and covered it with my hands. If only I could sink into the ground right away. The girls remained silent. I was left alone with my thoughts for some time, and that was fine by me. Maybe I could have sat that way until the end of dinner time, but the strong voice of Olga Dmitrievna was heard from the opposite end of the canteen. Guys! To celebrate the miraculous return or rescue of our friend and comrade Shurik, we baked a cake for you all. It's gonna be a big cake. I lifted my head idly and looked towards the camp leader, but couldn't see anything beyond the pioneer's back. Just a second. And nothing about me. Nothing about me rescuing Shurik or gathering the ingredients for the cake. As if that's how it ought to be. Well, it could be wrong to expect anything from our camp leader. Let's go, or we won't get our share. Slavia smiled. Let's go. Lena agreed. Yeah, sure. I got up reluctantly and tagged along behind the girls. I just thought that, hey, now that we're getting cake, we're not going to be hungry anymore, even though we didn't eat the fish. Nice. Sorry, that's just a random thought that came to mind. As we approached the crowd of pioneers, Olga Dmitrievna was just putting the cake into the center of the table. And now... That's a small cake. Who's that? That's Alyssa, Lena, that's me, Olyana, who has brown hair. Slavia's blonde. Not Zena, Miku, Zenya. Who is that? Camp leader wasn't able to finish as Olyana rushed out from the pioneer crowd and dived into the cake. She managed to nibble it a few times before she was pulled away. She was kicking and screaming. I stared blankly from the outside of all this drama, Alyssa smiling, Lena picking up some cream with her finger, all the furious pioneers around. I felt completely out of place here. I thought that if I closed my eyes now and opened them again, here I am, back to the safety of my apartment in front of my computer. Nope. I blinked, but nothing changed. Only the noise and the confusion became sharper. Olyana, that's the limit. I just... What would possess you to do that? Like, it's not even a smart thing to do. Alright, whatever. Well, in fact, behaving like this is a bit over the top even for her. Shirk broke into the conversation. Or is it the court-martial? Please, Olga Dmitrievna, since the cake is celebrating my return, it's no big deal. He hesitated. It doesn't matter. The camp leader turned to Olyana. And you. Today I'm going to punish you to the fullest extent, so you'll behave next time. Whatever. She snorted and turned back. You won't be going on the hike with us tonight. As if I wanted to. Can I jump into that cake and get punished by not going on the hike either? I was more than willing to switch places with Olyana and skip the hike instead of her, but who knew? If I had guessed beforehand, I'd have been the first one to go berserk and smash the damn cake. After a couple of minutes of confusion, the pioneers started to disperse. You have to get ready too. There'll be a lineup at the square in half an hour. I looked straight into the eyes of the camp leader, trying to express my attitude non-verbally, but it seemed that I failed. Don't be late! Olyana was sitting at the table when I approached her on my way to the exit. So why'd you do it? She looked very upset. But she had a right to be so. I wanted to. Olyana replied abruptly. So you're happy now? Of course I am. And you... Good luck with the hiking. And she runs off. She smiled She smiled mischievously, sprang up, and rushed out of the canteen. Well, a bit of luck wouldn't hurt. Walk and you shall reach. It was exactly this proverb that kept whirling in my head all the way down to the camp leader's cabin. I haven't heard that proverb, but I guess it makes sense. It's probably generic enough that I've probably heard it in some other form. Somehow, I just couldn't manage to argue, to pretend that I'm sick, or to skip it without reason. The events of this day taught me submissiveness. Although sometimes I feel like we've been pretty submissive, like, to everyone this whole time. Although sometimes whatever was happening made no sense to me. As I walked in, I had a thought. Well, in fact, how should I get ready? Clothes? I only had an overcoat and a pair of jeans. Anyway, I forgot to ask whether we'd be going on an overnight hike or not. I couldn't think of anything better, so I grabbed the sweater that I had on me when I've arrived in the camp. The night may be fairly chilly, and shuffled slowly off to the square. Comrade. All the camp was already there, although it was about 10 minutes before the time Olga Dmitrievna had designated. I settled down near the edge and waited patiently. It was falling. If viewed from the outside, what a fairly comical picture we would make. A crowd of pioneers lined up out of sheer habit, like they were awaiting a silent command from the bronze Genda. And all this happened in the scarlet rays of the sunset. And there he is, waving his hand and screaming, "Attack!" as roaring soldiers with red neckerchiefs charged into battle against some ghostly enemy. But Olga Dmitrievna showed up and started to talk instead of Genda. Seems everybody is here. Great! Another random thought that came to mind. Isn't Olyana like the youngest person? And she's like 10 or something, right? Or she looks like it. Anyways, but she's like the youngest person here. And you're gonna leave her alone in the camp? While everyone else, I guess the cook maybe isn't gonna go. I don't know. The nurse. Okay, maybe she has some sort of supervision. Alright. I was so tired today that I couldn't even think about anything, so I ended up just listening to the camp leader. Now, today we'll go hiking. It is essential for every pioneer to be able to come and rescue his comrade, to offer a helping hand in the hour of need, saving them from a hopeless situation. We have to learn to do all these things together. A whisper that ran through the pioneer crowd suggested that most probably this truly epic expedition would end in a clearing in the forest, several hundred feet away from the square. Somehow, I thought so too. We'll walk in pairs. Oh, Lena, called you. Dibs. And all that stuff. So, if you haven't chosen a partner for yourself yet, now's the time to do so. You hit the option to choose someone. Pioneers quickly caught on to the idea and started to match in pairs. It looked like I was the only one without a partner. Oh, man. Slavia was enthusiastically discussing something with Olga Dmitrievna. Lena was with Miku. Oh, Lena, thought we had something. Thought you were going to be my partner. Electronic was, of course, with Shurik, so does that mean Alyssa is with me? Well, it might not be a bad idea to go alone after all. Semyon, the voice of the camp leader, pulled me out of my thoughts. I went up to her reluctantly. I see that you haven't found a partner. Seems like it. Then you'll join Zena. Oh, great. Wait, who's Alyssa with then? Well, Yana is her roommate and she's not coming. Alright, then you'll join Xenia. Wait, who is Xenia's, cabin bunkmate? She is alone too. I was struck with that special kind of despair that only a true loner can experience. So it appears that I am left with a prickly librarian that I wouldn't risk spending a couple of hours with even if I was paid for it. Although we both seem to be in the same boat now. I slowly approached Xenia. Well, I guess we'll be going together. She looked up at me. Don't you even think that I'm glad, said seriously. Why on earth you should feel glad? Okay. I asked naively. Never mind. It would be much better if you just shut up. Sorry. It couldn't get any better than this. She turned her back on me and followed the other pioneers. Alright, let's go ahead and call it before we head into the forest woods, whatever this is. Well, looks like we're going back in there, and last time we went to the forest, we went to the little spooky little old camp thing, so wonder what's going to happen this time, and it's going to be night again, so I'm going to guess we're going to get somehow separated from the rest of the group, because Zenya is gonna like be like, screw you, and like run off, and I'm gonna get lost, and something bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna eat my bear. So hopefully you'll look forward to that next time. And until then, thank you for watching. Bye.